Hi guys, so today I actually have a tag video for you. I haven't really kept up to date with tag videos lately, but this one popped up on my subscriptions feed. I saw it on Grace with a Book in Her Face. It's her channel, and I've since seen it on Eleanor Reed's. And the tag is the Intimidating TBR Pile TAG, and it was started by Lindsay Ray, I believe. And it's just basically all about questions all about books in our TBR pile. Now basically my whole shelves are my TBR pile. I have so many books to read. So this was actually quite hard to narrow it down, but I've done my best, so here we go. What book have you been unable to finish? This is quite an interesting question for me because normally I make myself finish a book. I very rarely DNF books purely because it frustrates me. And with sort of my OCD, which I don't go into very much on this channel, it doesn't allow me to do it really very often. But I have been unable to finish Game of Thrones, and it's not because I wasn't enjoying it. I must have started reading this 3 years ago. I'm sure it was March 3 years ago because I was still at college when I was reading it. And I was really enjoying it, but I found it very slow going. I only got 146 pages in, and like I say, it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it, but like I must have been reading it for, I don't know, about 2 weeks, and I was just like, I'm going to be reading this all year. And there was other books that I wanted to read that I knew I would read faster, and yeah, I've just never gone back to it. I've had spoilers as well for both the books and the TV show, and that sort of made it slower getting back to it. I would like to get back to it. I actually have the audio of this, so I might do it that way instead of actually reading the physical book. Okay, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had time? I would say Clockwork Prince, and also City of Fallen Angels. I have still only read the first 3 books in the Mortal Instrument series, and I don't really know why. It's just a series that I've thought, oh, I'll get back to it later. I'll read it later or whatever. And then I heard such mixed things about City of Fallen Angels, and that's kind of just made me stop reading it. I've read Clockwork Angel, I should say, but that's it. That's the only books I've read in it, and I always just feel like there's other things I want to read. I don't know. That one. What book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? I would say Dragonfly in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. What the hell? I made it sound like some kind of dinosaur. I can't say her name. Diana Gabaldon. There we go. And I don't know why, because I loved Outlander so much. You guys know I talk about Outlander on my channel all the time. I've watched the TV show, love the TV show. So I don't know I don't know whether it's because I've hyped it up too much in my mind. I'm scared what's going to happen. I don't know. But I want to get to it soon because obviously we have season 2 of the show coming out soon. So before I watch that, I obviously need to read book 2. Okay, what book have you yet to read because it's brand new? So this is obviously going to be a spoiler for an upcoming book haul because this book is so new to me that I haven't even hauled it yet, and that is Into the Dim by Janet B. Taylor. And yeah, this is basically new to me. And I picked it up, funnily enough, because it's blurbed here by Diana Gabaldon. So it's kind of like a YA Outlander, so it should be right up my alley. So there is that. What book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? I almost struggled for this one, but then it just came to me. I've yet to read The Moment of Letting Go by J.A. Redmersky because I read The Edge of Never, there we go, The Edge of Never by this author, and in all honesty, didn't think an awful lot of it. I read it at a time when I was devouring new adult novels, and The Edge of Never is a very popular new adult novel. So I just didn't connect with it, and I didn't read the sequel to it. So yeah, and I've also yet to read this. This one was sent to me for review. I didn't request it or anything like that, or purchase it, so I don't feel so bad not reading it. But yeah, I just didn't connect with The Edge of Never in any way, shape or form. So it's really sort of made me hesitate with picking this one up. Okay. What book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? I have 2 books potentially for this one. I have Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I really liked Divergent. Quite a lot actually, more than I expected to. It was sort of the first dystopian book that I've read, because obviously when it came out, some weird stuff going on with my head, so it's got this weird thing. When it came out, it was obviously huge on BookTube, huge on GOODREADS, huge on Twitter. It was just kind of everywhere when it came out, and I read it and I absolutely loved it, and I didn't think that I would, because it wouldn't be my typical read. Absolutely loved it. But something has stopped me from continuing the series, and I don't really know what it is, because I loved Divergent, but I just don't think that I'm going to be as impressed with book 2 and book 3. So I'm just never in the mood to read it, and I don't know why, because like I say, I love Divergent, so really I should be in the mood to read it at some point, but I've just not been. So that's a bit of an odd one, and the same goes actually for Mockingjay, by Suzanne Collins. I read The Hunger Games and I read Catching Fire, and I liked them, but they're not like a Holy Grail series for me. I don't love them, I don't rave about them, because I've read books that I've genuinely enjoyed way more than that. I found Catching Fire actually quite boring for the first half of the book, and with Insurgent and with Mockingjay, obviously I've seen the Divergent movie, and I've seen The Hunger Games, and I've seen Catching Fire. I've seen their movies, but I was holding off watching Mockingjay, and also I haven't seen Insurgent because I haven't read the books, and I still haven't seen Insurgent, but I've finally caved because I don't know if or when I'm ever going to pick up Mockingjay, so I've watched the movie now. But yeah, just never in the mood to pick them up, like literally ever. Okay, what book have you yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? Now, I wouldn't say I ever buy a book just solely based on the cover, but this one had to come pretty damn close. I absolutely adore this cover. It's one of my favourite covers ever, and it's Shadowlands by Kate Bryan. It's absolutely stunning, guys. I absolutely freaking adore this cover. I think it's more stunning in person because you can see the colour of it better. But it's, oh my god, it's so stunning, and I love the teal end papers, guys. I love it. I actually should try and find the other books in this series because I literally love the covers, but I've yet to read this. I think it's a mystery or a thriller, but it's actually a trilogy, but this is the only book that I own. And I don't know if it got bad reviews or if I just didn't see any reviews, or I didn't see it kind of anywhere, but this cover was a large part of the reason that I bought it, and I've yet to read it, and I just don't even know why. Part of it, I think, is because I am starting to, I don't want to say move away from YA, because YA books still grab my attention every now and then, but really the books that I'm being drawn to are either new adult novels or are adult novels. Recently, that's kind of been more where I'm at. So there'll be a lot of books like Shadowlands on my shelves that are YA books that I haven't got to. So yeah, it's quite sad. And question 9. What is the most intimidating book in your TBR? Oh no, I've missed one. I've missed out number 7. what book have you yet to read because it's humongous? I do have the book, but it's in a box set and I didn't want to move everything around to grab it. And that is Order of the Phoenix. I have yet to finish reading the Harry Potter series. Order of the Phoenix is the next book that I have to read. And I feel a lot of pressure to read the Harry Potter books anyway, because of obviously how well loved they are. Not just on BookTube, but also I have friends who adore the Harry Potter books, and my best friend actually is the one who bought me my Harry Potter books. So I feel pressure whenever I pick it up that someone's going to comment going, oh, you're reading Harry Potter, how are you getting along with that? When they wouldn't do that when I was reading something else. But I've enjoyed the Harry Potter books that I've read so far. So I do just need to push myself to read the next book, which is obviously huge, Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, so that's like a combination of reasons. Like, I feel pressure to read that one, and it's huge. And I could be reading other things, which I'm trying to stop myself from getting into that mentality of, because it's big, I'm not going to read it. I'm slowly but surely trying to break myself of that habit, and we'll see how we get along with that. And now the final question is, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? I would say there's loads that intimidate me in my TBR pile. Could have picked Order of the Phoenix again. It's mostly big books that are intimidating. And I would say The Final Empire is probably currently my most intimidating book. It's not like really huge. I mean, you know, there's books out there that are bigger. It is over 600 pages. But it's the fact that, one, it's not a small book. Two, it's a very, very popular book. So I feel like it's almost hyped. So there's that sort of intimidation aspect to it. Plus, I mean, it's the first book in a series. So when I start it, I'll be starting a huge fantasy series. So yeah, that's why that's probably the most intimidating. But I am finding myself drawn to it more. Recently, I think I'm in a fantasy mood, or I was anyway. I'm reading an arc at the moment, at the time that I'm recording this, called Hope and Red, which is a fantasy read, and at the moment I'm absolutely loving it. So more books like this might be finding their way sort of into my currently reading soon. So the last question is, who do I tag to do this? Now, as always, I tag absolutely anybody that wants to do it, but I would like to tag Charlie at Duvet Day Devours, because I imagine she has quite the intimidating TBR. Lee from Bookstation, because again, I imagine he's probably got several books on the go at once. Ryan from Ryan Reads Books, because again, I know he has an intimidating TBR pile because we talk about it often. And Rob from Rob's Reading Roundup. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.